Today, the big question. Who lands humans on Mars first? This really feels like more than just science, doesn't it? It's like a new space race. We've got two main players we're looking at. First, SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, very audacious. And then there's the China National Space Administration, the CNSA, much more state-controlled, methodical.
Exactly. And we've dug into the sources on both. We're going to unpack their strategies, their tech, their timelines, really try and figure out whose approach looks more likely to, actually get boots on Mars first.
Okay, let's kick things off with SpaceX then. Their approach seems incredibly fast-paced. It's all centered on Starship, right? The fully reusable system.
That's right. And their timelines are, well, ambitious is putting it mildly. They're talking uncrewed missions, maybe 2026.
And humans. I've seen dates like 2029 thrown around.
Yeah, 2029, maybe more realistically 2031. But still, very soon. And the long view is that Martian city by 2050.
Which needs thousands of starships. Thousands. And that complex in-orbit refueling.
Requiring maybe 12 tanker flights for just one Mars mission. Okay, it's a massive scale.
Are these super aggressive timelines their strength or maybe their biggest weakness, given, how space stuff usually goes?
That's really the core question with SpaceX. Their whole fail fast, learn faster thing has definitely pushed them forward quickly. But it creates huge technical hurdles. You mentioned the refueling, totally unproven at this scale.
And landing Starship itself on Mars.
Right. It's 200 metric tons. We're talking 200 times heavier than anything landed successfully before. That's unprecedented.
Wow.
Plus, there are the financial questions. Critics talk about, tens of billions needed, maybe 20 years for full validation.
And regulatory hurdles too, right? This can cause delays.
Absolutely. So while the speed is impressive, the uncertainty around the crewed timeline is significant. High risk, potentially high reward.
Okay, so that's SpaceX. High risk, very fast, lots of unknowns. How does CNSA compare? They seem much more deliberate.
Completely different philosophy. Very methodical, state-controlled, long-term plan. They're leveraging their successes, like the Chang'e moon missions, Tianwen on Mars.
You're right to have a rover there.
Exactly. They're building capabilities step by step. Their human Mars target is 2033.
Okay, so a bit later than SpaceX's target?
Yes, and critically, it follows their Tianwen-3 sample return mission planned for late 2028, testing key tech first. And it all relies on their big new rocket, the Long March 9.
Which is also planned for around 2033.
First flight anticipated then, yeah. So the timelines seem internally consistent, part of a phased buildup.
It's interesting about the U.S. Wolf Amendment blocking cooperation. Has that actually, paradoxically, helped China build a more robust independent program?
It's a fascinating point. You could argue yes, being forced into self-reliance might make their program more resilient, less dependent on, say, shifting international politics.
So maybe less likely to get derailed by external factors.
Potentially. Their track record shows steady, predictable progress. Slower than SpaceX maybe, but consistent. It's like they're carefully laying foundations.
So when you put it all together, SpaceX's mauled fast deadlines versus CNSA's steady, proven steps, who has the edge? Who gets there first?
Well, on paper, SpaceX's dates are earlier, no question. But they need huge technical leaps, things never done before, within that tight time frame. That's a lot of uncertainty.
Whereas CNSA?
CNSA has state backing, stable funding, a risk-averse approach, and they validate each step. It feels more predictable. So despite SpaceX's inspiring vision, you could argue CNSA's methodical path makes them perhaps more likely to achieve that first landing reliably.
A sort of tortoise and the hare situation, maybe.
Kind of, yeah. The entrepreneurial sprint versus the state-run marathon.
So this deep dive really highlights it's not just about saying you'll get there first. It's about which strategy can actually overcome the enormous challenges.
Exactly. And it leaves you with a really interesting thought. Does this competition actually speed up humanity becoming multi-planetary? Or are we just going to see two separate paths to Mars, each facing its own hurdles? It makes you wonder what that future really looks like.